In the last section, we began describing the components of the project scope statement. We will complete these descriptions in this section. Project boundaries is a good section for describing definitively what is not in scope. Sometimes, stakeholders may talk about an upgrade or an enhancement that does not really meet the project's objectives, but before you know it, they expect it to be one of the project results. This may be something that must be excluded due to budget or time and should be noted in the project scope document to make it clear that the project results will not include this item. Product acceptance criteria defines the process and criteria on which the deliverables and product, service, or project results will be deemed as acceptable. We have not yet covered the triple constraint model. This is part of the quality planning section. However, for now, just remember that when you start documenting constraints, don't forget to zero in on the triple constraints of time, cost, and scope. They are usually impacted somehow. The values for these items are typically known to some extent at the beginning of the project and should be documented here. In project assumptions, you're defining anything that's believed to be true that may impact or influence the project. This could include resource availability, budget, quality of inputs, delivery of hardware dates, etc. Project organization may also include an org chart. Initial defined risks is basically a list of all the threats and opportunities to the project. And the schedule milestones are something that achieves a significant completion of a key deliverable. Fund limitations refers to cost constraints, and cost estimates lists all cost estimates for the project. Project configuration management requirements describes the characteristics of the product of the project and ensures that the description is accurate and complete. There's more to come for configuration management in later sections. In some industries, specifications may be provided at the beginning of the project, which was the foundation for the bidding on the work. The work must be completed to those specs. Approval requirements documents how deliverables and other results of the project will be approved and by whom. The project scope statement is one of those documents that should be formally reviewed and signed off by the project sponsor and other key stakeholders. Other management may also sign off on the project scope. This formality and the sign-off is important for two reasons. Number one, it helps to ensure that there are no surprises when the project deliverables have been met. And number two, any changes that may surface throughout the project can be recognized as a change to scope, and the appropriate approvals can then be procured. Having a firm, approved scope helps to ensure that the project is anchored and not drifting along, accumulating requests that are not really part of the intended project objectives. Requested changes, I think, speak for themselves. Changes happen, and as you go through more progressive elaboration, general questions come up, and you'll find that more changes might be requested. Project Scope Management Plan updates keep documentation up to date. In the next section, we'll review the work breakdown structure process.